Niner uniform. Probably a Niner uniform. I mean, if not a Niners uniform, probably a Washington Commander uniform. If not a Washington Commander uniform, probably a Steelers uniform.
It's in Commanders Nation. It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. It's been a minute, but it's time to return from the hiatus to get back to the shits. And what better time than some actual news? I know the Brandon Aiyuk saga. We've been kind of kicking it ever since we drafted Jayden Daniels, and content creators alike, we've been kicking the notion and the idea since before Jayden Daniels was officially drafted as the Washington Commanders quarterback. That is his best friend in the league. That is one of his closest real life friends. That's his brother. And they have been parading and gallivanting around the NFL offseason streets. And this just in, Brandon Aiyuk, while sitting down with Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder and company on the Pivot podcast, amazing sports platform, by the way, was asked by Ryan Clark, what NFL uniform will you be wearing in 2024? And his answer was candid as hell. To be perfectly honest, I was not prepared for how candid it was. That was real as shit. I had to run that shit back and send it in the group chat just to verify that he just said that shit. His answer, I would hope it's in a San Francisco 49ers uniform. But if it's not a 49ers uniform, it'll be a Washington Commanders uniform. If it's not a Washington Commanders uniform, it'll probably be a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, which lit up Ryan Clark's face like Christmas morning. But let's not even get to that last part. Let's stop at take two. I'll be in a Washington Commanders uniform. And he even says it on, he even said earlier in the show, like, bro, if they don't want to bring me back, there's a quarterback, my guy, Jayden Daniels, and it pans to Jayden. The camera pans to Jayden, and he pops up looking random as hell, like he just got caught cheating on his girl or some shit. He pops up into the frame. Jayden is with him in the background of this interview. They've been parading around malls. They've been everywhere together. That's his guy. That's his day one. That's his gang. And he said, there's a quarterback, Jayden Daniels. I'm thinking of what we could do together. I'm thinking of what I could do with him. He said, if it's not the Niners, it's Washington. And if it's not Washington, it's Pittsburgh. This is huge because we're in the day and the age in which players make shit happen. We're not quite in the NBA phase where players 100% run the asylum, but players make shit happen in the NFL as well. And his situation in San Francisco makes it very realistic for Washington to grab Brandon Aiyuk, if not this year, in the offseason next year, because they're not going to get a contract done. He wants to get paid. He wants Amon-Ra St. Brown type money. His stats are Amon-Ra St. Brown good, despite the fact that he's like fourth fiddle on the 49ers. There's Christian McCaffrey. There's George Kittle. There's Deebo Samuel. And what did they do? Instead of offering him a contract, they drafted a receiver in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. They draft the great white hope, Ricky Pearsall. So once again, that's a lot of chefs in the kitchen. Word to the bear. There's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and Brandon Aiyuk is the odd man out here. And he offers great trade value. He's coming off an all-pro season. Absolute baller, 1,300. That is our number one receiver if we trade for him. We have co-number ones, him and Terry. Just imagine, guys. Just go to La La Land with me real quick. Terry and Brandon Aiyuk on the outside. Jahan and Luke interchangeable on the inside. Eckler, Robinson, Ertz, Sennett, and Jayden Daniels slinging that thing to him. No pause. I don't care. This is exciting. You want to know why this is exciting? When's the last time a player wanted us? When's the last time someone said, I want Washington? This is an unfamiliar feeling to me. This is a marquee, young, all-pro receiver who wants Washington, who could see himself here. The person that drafted him is our general manager, Adam Peters. His best friend is our quarterback, the guy who got him drafted out of Arizona State, Jayden Daniels. It all makes sense. It feels like all roads for Aiyuk will at some point lead to Washington, whether that be this offseason or next. And the news just came out a couple days ago that Washington was trying to trade for Brandon Aiyuk during the draft process. Didn't end up working out. Maybe it was a little too rich for our blood at the time, or maybe we just wanted to see how the offseason was shaking out. Despite the fact that our roster is completely brand new and we got 22 new players added to the roster, we're still third in the NFL in salary cap space after signing all of our rookies already. We're sitting at around 36, a little bit under $37 million of cap space available. And when you write signing bonuses and you make the money stretch a little bit, you're not just going to give it all to him up front. For a player of this caliber who actually wants to be in your building, you shoot your shot and you put a substantial offer on the table. And you leave it up to the San Francisco 49ers to either make the deal or not make the deal. But do your part. He clearly has interest in being here. And they clearly are very far apart on contract talks. And it doesn't look good on the contract front when you draft a receiver in the first round of the draft, the year one of your star receivers wants your best receiver, because Deebo Samuel is not better than Brandon Aiyuk. He's more versatile. He's the trick guy. He's the Swiss Army knife of that offense, but let's call a spade a spade. Brandon Aiyuk's the best receiver on that team, but clearly he's looking like the odd man out. And Washington, at some point, needs to pounce on this situation, because I would much rather see Aiyuk running routes for his boy, Jayden Daniels, than running routes for Justin Fields, running back ass, or rinsed Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. No, sir. I can see him being a fit there too. I want no parts of that. So I need Adam Peters and company to put together an offer and see what the 49ers are going to do. Let's make some shit shake, and let's make a little bit of a splash. Don't tell me you don't want an all-pro receiver when I see dudes up and down the timeline talking about let's sign David Bakhtiari. Peg leg ass David Bakhtiari. Man don't got two healthy legs on his body, and I see people ready to bang down his door, but y'all don't want a player like... No, we're not doing that. We're no longer, as fans, doing the thing where we don't want talented guys because things didn't work out here with other guys in past regimes. 26-year-old all-pro receiver, call a spade a spade. He would walk in day one and be the best receiver on the roster. We would have co-number ones. Whatever Jahan's going to become in the slot, Luke McCaffrey, man, it just sounds like a family affair here in DC. And it just feels like an Adam Peters-ass thing to do. Get it done. You drafted the guy. You know the guy. You know who he is as a person. And he's made it quite clear what his intentions are. He'd like to get something done in San Francisco. Doesn't look like something's going to get done in San Francisco because they got a lot of mouths to feed over there. The Madden cover guy, Christian McCaffrey, you know he going to get his touches. George Kittle's still a top 3 tight end in this league. Deebo Samuel, one of the best Swiss Army knives in this league. Ricky Pearsall, you didn't draft a receiver in the first round and not throw him the ball or give him targets. So, I mean, give us a call. Pick up the phone, guys. Let's make some shit shake. Brandon Aiyuk to Washington. I want to speak it into existence. I want us to make this shit happen. If not this offseason, next offseason, where he could be a free agent. But I imagine they're going to try to recoup some compensation for him. So they might as well get on the phone and talk to us about getting a trade done. Let me know what you guys think. And go ahead and give the pivot interview with Brandon Aiyuk a watch. Our quarterback is there. Awkward as hell. Camera pans to him. It looked like one of those revealing the cheaters episodes of one of those crazy ass shows on YouTube. Jayden real awkward in the background. These guys spend the offseason together. These guys love each other. That's his brother. We've seen the Instagram live thing. We've seen Jayden say if there's one person in the league he'd play with, it'd be Brandon Aiyuk. We've seen the Twitter games. We've seen the Instagram live. And now we see Brandon Aiyuk standing on business in the pivot interview where he says, if not San Francisco, Washington. if not Washington, Pittsburgh, and says, do you see what I could do with a guy like Jayden Daniels? Camera pans to him. I'm excited. I needed something to awaken my ass to get back on my content shit. And here we go. Friday, June 28th. It just hops right on my lap. And your boy is back. Let's get to it. We're about a month away from Washington Commanders training camp. Your boy is back in the content mix. Let's get it. Hell to the Washington Commanders. Let me know what you think about this Brandon Aiyuk situation. And let me know in the comments, what would your trade package be for Brandon Aiyuk? Let's make it happen. Adam Peters, Jayden Daniels, Brandon Aiyuk, match made in heaven. Let's do it. Until next time, Rio out.